You're watching The Advocate on Plus TV Africa. Time to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. I recently watched Heaven's Hell and I found it a haunting experience. And here I am talking about the abusive relationships more than a couple of weeks later. It figures. What are abusive relationships? Adjectives like manipulative, exploitative, power play, lust-inspired, predatory, self-gratification, destructive, me first come to mind. Are you getting the drift? We're all under this miasma of decay and corruption, I hear many scream. Who then can be saved? A clear thought comes to mind at this point. The corruption that is in the world through lust. The way forward. It's pointless wallowing in squalor, innit? First of all, as long as there is life, there's always light in the darkness. There are doubtless many sacrificial, inspirational, noble relationships in the midst of life as we know it, or some of us wouldn't be here, against the odds, still standing. Secondly, since this corruption in our everyday relationships can be diagnosed as a product of lust or idolized self-gratification, each and every one of us would do well to take heed to ourselves, as we all are capable of being exploiters as well as the exploited. Be aware, and in being aware, put checks in place to alert us to the potential two-way traffic of cyclical destructive behaviors. Then, do everything within our power, with help from without, to break the cycle. Finally, I choose to believe in heaven in the midst of hell, or hell's heaven. Essentially, the light in the darkness. Why? Because a sure antidote to recycled abuse is to believe in whatsoever is true and noble. Note, I said believe, not acknowledge. And to set that as a standard, not vice versa.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I got quite confused. I grabbed some and then I go.
Because I don't understand.
So you might have to break it down.
Is it the life bit or the general
whole thing?
You know, I think what happened here. I think what happened here is Ekene started well, and then her poetic
kicked in.
Instincts took over, and so she just went.
Let me try and identify a few.
I understand.
Let me try and identify very quickly three bullet points. No, I'm happy to.
Please, I followed you, that I lost you, that I followed you. Let's go.
It's a poetic instinct.
Okay, one, that the thing I was at pains to identify is that we all can abuse, and you know, sometimes when you talk about abusers, you're thinking of somebody else abusing. But actually, if you look at it on a microscopic scale, we can do this potentially every day to people around us. If you look at all those adjectives, manipulative, you are in a position to do that to people around you every single day.
I got that.
And then the bit at the end, which is possibly where I lost some people, is to do with the fact that sometimes if we keep holding up all these abusive relationships and paint the picture as if everybody's an abuser, because that's the impression I got when I came away from watching the film, that, oh my gosh, we're drowning in this thing. Then we won't actually find our way out. So the way I find to live above what I see as the decay of everyday life is to focus on the positive relationships in my life. And so I feel that everybody must have something they can identify with, because if you set that as the standard, then you're more capable it gives you something to work towards, as opposed to dwelling on the fact that everybody around you is a potential abuser and you yourself are a potential abuser.
But I think you're wrong, because I don't think everybody around me is a potential abuser. Do you?
No, but you get
I mean, let's just take a poll quickly. Do you?
You know why?
Do you?
Well, I do.
You think everybody around you is a potential abuser?
I think that
just a quick poll on the table.
I keep alert that anybody can possibly be an abuser. I'll give you a reason why I know I'm like that, because
or that you think like that, not that you're an abuser.
No. Exactly. I think like that. It's because
so you see me now
misinterpreting what she said.
I will not. Basically, I will not rule every. As much as I want to believe that the boss is not and everything, I want to believe that. And on the whole, I probably do believe that. But I will, in some situations, I will. You know, like for instance, my little boy, I take him to the supermarket with me, and when we go there, there's a particular Oyinbo man that has taken a liking to him, knows his name, everything. So And my nanny, you know, seeing an Igbo man liking the boy, she gets all excited, but I'm just like, watch this man.
Don't you dare.
So I watched, you know, at first I was cool about it. Then I started paying more attention to this man. And I saw how he would grab my son and how he would be closer to his, the groin region and everything. So after that, I said to myself, this guy is a potential abuser. If he, you know, there's something going on here that doesn't make sense. You know, and then, like, my son likes to go to the security house, you know, and he likes to go to the boys' quarters to play with the cook. But I have to be concerned about that situation.
I think what you're saying then is that... Sorry,
to add to what you have said, these days, like I did say it earlier on, that you find out that these days we live more of a societal life, so we suspect everybody. And that's what I believe Ekene is saying. Yes, if you look at what is happening, you know, everybody is a suspect.
Yes.
But we can, you know, break away from those places and begin to look at the positive aspect while you're watching, you know, but
whilst
also
you're being vigilant.
Yes, while you're being vigilant, but look at the positive aspect, you know, take those ones away as
and also, sorry, I know I've had it my say, but also I want to just give you, sometimes when people, you know, like sometimes people say things like, oh, all men are cheating, that kind of, just give you that scenario. Now, I choose to believe that there are men who don't cheat. And
it's true.
But that helps me, build a life around positive.
And I think where I get where you're coming from, Uche, actually, but the way I tend to look at it is, we are all humans, and therefore we are all subject to fault.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what Ekene was actually saying. And if we
appreciate that we are all subject to fault, and given the environment that we're in now, I think it's okay for you to be, I call it digital. So when I'm driving myself, I say I'm digital. I don't want a driver to drive me at night because I look at the mirrors more than the drivers do. So it's okay to be aware, not to wear blinkers of what's going on, like what you felt. And a mother's instinct is never wrong. So if you don't feel comfortable,
I agree.
But that doesn't mean that I presume everybody to be a potential abuser.
No, that's why she used the word aware and not knowledge.
That's what I'm saying. I think I watched the same film as you did, and I think you're taking that film as a representation of society. That film wasn't a representation of society, it was more. It took a microcosm of what is going on in society. So it was about a man, a middle-class couple, the husband, and everybody loves them, everybody loves the husband in particular, but he had been abusing his wife all these years, and nobody, in fact, so much so that when she killed him, nobody believed that he ever did anything to her.
There's so many like that in Nigeria.
There's so many like that, and that's
that was the point he made, that there were so many like that.
And that's what you're saying. We mustn't ignore the fact that such cases exist. At the same time, not wear rose-tinted glasses and think, you know what, everything is on.
That's why if you're too nice to me, I become suspicious.
Yes. You know, you said something once, didn't you? You said when somebody comes into your office and they say, was it by the grace of God or something? Yes. That's the minute you don't want them as a client.
Correct.
So, no, I mean, I guess we're saying.
I think you actually ended up fully understanding what I
we're balancing that.
I am.
Yeah, because yes, it's there, acknowledge.
It's because Ekene went poetic.
It looks like she was saying that there were abusers in all of us.
No, I made that point.
She's saying that
we are all capable of abuse.
Yeah,
so let's not think it's the other person.
And also, let's not look at abuse in that's always like sexual or whatever. Yes,
there's mental abuse, emotional abuse.
There's agree. Sometimes you have the tendency to want to be manipulative.
Yes,
but you have that instinct that says, no, don't do this. So that means you have the potential.
A member of society.
Another loaded, sorry to wrap it up like this, another loaded and challenging session. We mustn't shrink back from confronting the issues though. Keep your comments coming in on our social media platforms on Facebook, Plus TV Africa, #TheAdvocateNG, or on Twitter and Instagram at Plus TV Africa, #TheAdvocateNG. Let me say like Ireti, don't forget the NG. And join us as we continue advocating for a better society.
Bye.
Welcome to The Advocate, a program that thrashes out all the topical issues of the day.
When you are in government, you don't see nothing wrong with whatever is happening. The moment you are out there, everything is wrong.
You can't even see many women now, and when they're there, they're not even really making a mark, and then they have an NYSC problem and this and that.
One of the reasons why we don't have more women in politics in Nigeria is for as long as political meetings continue to take place in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
No, really.
Disastrous for a president
To even say
be
he's unaware.
unaware of the chief
It's
justice.
a ploy. It could be a strategy.
That strategy was very
Backfired.
terrible strategy. Because the buck stops at your table.
Whether it's that we don't look after our cities, and quite frankly, Nigeria is becoming a very ugly place.
When you are the only one feeding the people with this news and there is nobody countering them, it becomes, the news.